Hey guys, we're back with part two with Amber, who is our human design expert, goddess, guru, knows all things human design. We are giving you guys small increments, 10, 15 minutes. It's like a lot of information that can be overwhelming. But if we provide it in small pieces and digestible ways, we want to be able to break it down and disseminate it to you guys in like a meaningful way that's impactful and that you can apply to your everyday life. Because I'll say, not to speak for Amber, but for all of us, we feel so passionate about this process because it's allowed us to live in more authenticity. I know just for me, embarking on this journey of like human design and shamanic practice has helped me to fall in love with life all over again, where I really didn't think that I would. And I've done that like as a result of the work. So Amber is our human design person. She's fucking phenomenal and one of the smartest women I've ever met in my life. So today we're gonna like expand a little bit more with specificity around human design type. The components of what a type is, what that even means. If you're listening to this, you probably, hopefully know if you are, projector, generator, manifesting generator, etc. But you might not even know what that means or what that means for you. So we want to provide more information on what type is and what it looks like and feels like so you guys can actually apply it to your life. So I guess we can really just start off the conversation with even just defining within the human design world that's big and overwhelming what type means.
Sure. So type is essentially, when you look at the whole blueprint, it's the structure of your blueprint that allows the system and yourself to understand what your strategy will be. And it tells you the way in which your energetics will work overall for yourself. And then it also tells you the way your overall energetic body will work within the system itself. So that is what type is. The best way to give an example that someone else may have a little bit better understanding of is your type in human design is similar to your sun sign if you were talking about Western astrology, for example. So the other, you can also understand from that similarity to what I just shared, that there are going to be lots of parts of the larger type that when you start to learn about your design and your type, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's feels really correct and aligned for me. And then till you get into your own specificity related to your individual design, you'll start to see these nuanced pieces that are like, oh, okay, I'm a little bit more this way or that way, really into the type. So
Yeah, and before we even decided to record this video, I asked Amber like where to even start. I know for me, I learned I was a projector. We're both projectors, by the way. So shout out to projectors.
what?
But we talked about that like the most useful place when we're talking about type, high level is like the majority of the population, right? And I think Amber said, did you say 50% generator?
So it's almost 70%. Well, so 37% of the population are pure generators. Yep. So
okay. So what is a pure generator? Like, what does that mean?
So that a pure generator means that they have a defined sacral energy, which allows them to regenerate energy as they go about doing things that they love or are passionate about. A pure generator actually is able to regenerate life force energy for the whole planet and also share that light force energy with all the other types in the system. It is why there's 37% of the population are pure generators, because we actually need them to produce that much life force energy for our planet to exist. And the other thing I would say, just briefly about a pure generator, there's lots of terms that human design specialist readers guides will use. I like to say they're the great masters of this system, because they really love to gain full mastery over the things that they really are passionate about and love. They really like to hone in that skill so that they can build mastery and build something beautiful with it. That's the role in which the generator really finds its niche within the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I guess, like, if you're watching this video and you don't know what we're even talking about or what your type is, would be to go get your free blueprint from theritualspot.com. And then I'm pretty sure it's the first thing that pops up, right? Is your type.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be the first thing at the top of the information that's provided there. Yep.
Yeah. So I guess, like, for me, since we're doing this in kind of like bite-sized ways, and quick conversations, is if we're talking to generators, is there anything that, like, you would speak to for them to know, understand, like, specifically about how they might be able to use that knowledge, like, in their day-to-day?
Yes. As a pure generator, it is really very helpful to understand that your strategy to go through life, to really experience and cultivate opportunities that are best for you, is by responding to the stimuli around you. I say that because we as a population have been, over the last hundreds of years, conditioned to believe that if you want something, you need to take initiative and need to go out and make it happen. And yet, most of the types in the system, that's not actually how you access your greatest opportunities in life. For pure generators, for that 37% of the population, is actually through responding to the things in their surroundings. So to respond using their strategy is one of the greatest things, that you don't have to go out there and make the thing happen. That if you pick up your head, my beautiful pure generators, if you pick up your head and you look around the environment that you're in right now, look around and allow yourself to respond. That's what I would say to pure generators in the short version.
Yeah. And then what makes up the percentage of the population after generator?
Sure. So the second, I'll just go in the order of percentages. So they make up 37%. The next one is called a manifesting generator, which is actually the only hybrid of the whole system. So we're all unique. And yet this is unique because it's the only hybrid of the system. And they're called a manifesting generator because they're actually a combination of two of the other types. So they have traits and energetics of two different types, the pure generators and the pure manifestors. They make up 33% of the population. So they also have a defined sacral. So why do they make up 33% of the population? Because again, this is another number where we actually need that percentage, because they are also capable of regenerating additional life force energy throughout the day as they go about doing things that really light them up. And so manifesting generators, the additional component that makes them slightly different from the pure generator is the fact that they have access to the manifestor traits.
And I heard you talk about a defined sacral, and for anybody looking at their blueprint and not really knowing what that may or may not mean, that would just mean that, like, this energetic center on their blueprint essentially filled in, for lack of a better word.
Yep.
So defined. So, and are they the only two in the system or types that have the defined sacral?
Yes.
Okay.
They're the only two in the system that are able to access regenerative sacral life force energy. The other types in the system, which we'll talk about momentarily, they don't have a defined sacral, so they actually can't access renewable, regenerative sacral life force energy. The rest of them, we project. I'm saying we because both of us sitting here today are projectors, so we don't have access to that energy. We rely on the manifesting generators and the pure generators to create an overabundance of life force energy and share it with us. So that's how all the other types actually work.
So I guess knowing that that's such a large percentage of the population with a defined sacral, what is what's like the number one, I don't know, piece of advice, I guess, that like you would advise to maybe like protect or use their defined sacral in the best way?
Oh, what is the best? Yes, I love that. To really gauge what it is they do choose to respond to. Because both the generator, the pure generator, and the manifesting generator, they're built to respond. So, and yet the trick as you go deeper into the work is not to actually respond to everything, to instead reserve the sacral energy for the things that actually feel correct and aligned for you in your body, and then give your energy to that. When pure generators and manifesting generators give their energy to something that is correct and aligned for them, they actually create an overwhelming abundance of sacred life force energy from their sacral center. So much so that they fill themselves up, that it overflows out uncontrollably to the people around them.
Yeah.
So that would be how to use their energy in correctness or alignment. Would be to only respond, not to respond to everything, respond to the things that feel best for you.
And how would you, because you talked about like it feeling correct and aligned, how would you advise a generator or a manifesting generator on knowing? Like, what is there a feeling in the body, or is there something that like you would define as like correct or in alignment?
So I'm gonna give slight caveat here that really the next, when we listen for future segment on authority, because there some of that will play into it, and yet every pure generator, every manifesting generator has a gut response. It, with the idea that there are some authorities that will have additional responses that they need to abide by, and yet the simplest thing would be listen to your gut. Your pure generators and manifesting generators have a gut response, an immediate gut response that will say, and it's like a physical response. Yes, this is correct. No, this is not. The yes will, it's a physical attraction to the thing. So you will experience a physical attraction to that. That's a yes. Or there's like a no or a repulsion away from it, and then it's a no. One of my other little tricks that my tips that I'm gonna give out right now, this is like a hot tip, just so you know. Just so you know. Our beautiful pure manifestor and manifesting generator friends get so confused when it becomes an I don't know or a maybe. Or like a anything that is not a full-blown attraction, a yes, every other response is actually a no. That's huge.
Yeah, because it's muddled, right?
Yep.
So if it's not certain, it's almost like, do nothing kind of thing.
And we again have been conditioned, not just generators and manifesting generators,
Yeah.
but as a population,
Yeah.
we've been conditioned to people please, to
Exactly.
be the yes man, you know? And so all of a sudden our maybes, our hmms, our I don't knows, they get pushed a little bit more into the, well, then that's a yes
Yeah.
kind of thing. And we see this in lots of different places and systems in our current environment. Well, if it's not a no, it's a yes.
Yeah.
That's not no, actually. If it's not a yes, every other response is actually a no.
Yeah.